But I did notice when I fought there that it was a very, very lax commission. I don't know if that
Yeah.
was how it normally is. I literally, we're looking around our team. We're like, these guys here are wild. They don't, they don't care about anything behind here, huh? Like it was so lax, the oversight. Guy was barely watching my hands get wrapped. He didn't really seem to care.
Was it?
I go to the bathroom
I have
on
to
my own.
interrupt you. Was he humming Sweet Caroline though? Because as long as he was humming Sweet Caroline for the main event, to be fair, that's the tick. We're done at that point. That's all
He,
boxes covered.
yeah, I have no clue. I was
Yeah.
too focused on being in the zone, but I was looking around like, wow, it's different over here, huh? The guy right in my hands was like, yeah, and he had been there many times before. Mike Basil, who is a hero in this sport, but
Mm,
yeah, he's like, it's very different here, and he had warned me about that. I just didn't realize it was going to be like that. Listen, when I fight in New York, I can't drink anything but the water that they provide. They
yeah.
follow me into the urinal, like
Hmm.
into over my shoulder. At every time I can't go in the stall and go, drink something or eat something that wasn't there. That's not an option. They're very, very strict in New York, and it was not like that over there. So I don't know if that's how it always is. I don't know if that was just my situation, but like I said, I've only been there once, so I don't know.
I think like even in New York and Nevada as well, like the amount of caffeine you can consume is also like incredibly regulated. So people just take
Mm-hmm.
the caffeine pills. Otherwise, if they get a particularly strong double espresso, they can be popped for it and have a real problem, right? Here, I would
Well, I
imagine
mean,
they're probably carving up a couple of lines and saying, "Go on, boy."
yeah, I could, yeah, I don't think anyone cared about any of that, and that was just the impression that I got. But yeah, it's just, it's different. And again, I don't know. I wouldn't say that necessarily it's a problem now, like it wasn't before.
Mm,
Maybe it is, maybe it's not. Maybe it's more. There's more accessibility. Maybe it's gotten to the price point where it actually, these younger fighters are able to afford it. I don't know. It's hard to say because this is all hush hush stuff. Nobody's
yeah.
out there outing guys. Listen. They were saying that the Eubank Ben fight that he failed a month ago. That's
Yeah,
scary.
Yeah.
That's
that's
really
terrifying.
scary.
That really is.
It kind of
And
lines up with his dad and everything else.
Mm-hmm.
yeah, Senior was pulling him out, all of that stuff. Like it was a real, it was a, listen, this is a situation where as fans, we were sitting there like very, very conflicted, right? You got
Mm.
Junior who you can see, like he made 157, I think, but he looked like a prisoner of war, right? What
Yeah.
that picture that he put up giving it this, he looked awful. I'm glad that the fight didn't happen the second that I saw that. I'm also glad, obviously, that someone has been quote unquote caught, UKAD, not VADA, all this other stuff. They're all loopholes. But then,
Mm-hmm.
like from a fan's perspective, I'm a part-time PT now. Jesse's a full-time trainer. Like we all know. Like, hey, Chris, you ready to be shocked? I'm 40. I've got 5 years till I'm juicing to the tits. Right? I'm ready. I'm already in Pete Huddy. Right? My
Bro,
earlobes are
start
gonna have
now.
abs. Yeah.
Start now. What?
Listen, last time
I
I had
wait.
you on, you reprimanded me for consuming too much caffeine, right? This time you're telling me to juice. So I like
Dude,
you a
yeah.
lot.
Just
Yeah, yeah,
don't drink the caffeine with it.
I've got to do both. Right? But like the clomiphene in itself would never ever be one. Like I know you don't go near that. Like it lasts 4, 5, 6 months in your system. You don't. That's a low level. That's a gym bro drug. If you're a AAA prospect, you are Eddie's UK boy. Like let's not forget, AJ hasn't got that long. Should be the Conor Benn era. They've been talking about him and Boots Enos. Hey, that's never happening. But Boots, they're talking him at world level and this and this and this. You're telling me that you've got people around you that are whipping clomiphene to you? It's insane. Like
Yeah. I got asked that recently to go, could it have been an accident? No, no. His
this is
team
it,
let him
right?
down. Whether he knew what he was doing or not in terms of exactly what he was taking, it doesn't matter. The team around him did, and that's on you.
Yeah.
If listen, if whoever if your team messes up, those are the people you keep around you. Then you messed up. If your lawyer doesn't get you off, you go to jail, and not him. It's you're the one in the hot seat. You're the one who
This
has to
is it.
perform. You're the one who's going to take the penalty for it. There's consequences to these things.
Well, this is it, right? This Dr. Usman guy who's worked with this litany of British fighters has just like vanished off the face of the earth. His podcast has vanished. His Instagram. Listen, if you're a doctor and you've got a TikTok, I don't want to use you, guy. And he's also he's also not an endocrinologist. He's a general practitioner with a interest in sports medicine. He's not an endocrinologist.
Yeah, no shit. I listened. That one video I posted on my Twitter, and I'm like, you guys are gonna listen to this guy? I explain it better than him. What are we doing here? I explain it way better. It seems like I understand physiology a lot better too. So how did this guy talk you into being your guy?
This is very, but this is why it's so confusing for me, because surely if you're an inner circle matchroom, like Jess, as a fellow Brit, like Conor's been everywhere for years, because obviously his dad and the icon that is the fathers, and like this fight shouldn't have happened in the first place. No one cared for this fight until they started to promote the life out of it, and then it was like, oh, we'll watch it.
Yeah, I got excited about it because I'm nostalgic, and I thought about the wars their dad had, but it was a weird fight. Everything was weird, and
they preyed upon that, didn't they?
Yeah.
It was almost like the sideshow issue about it, but also then more and more details came out. The rehydration clause. I was like, oh wow, this makes this a real fight, and I don't like that. It's very, very dangerous to limit hydration to a fighter overnight. Brain hydration is a big deal when it comes to brain injury and permanent damage. And you got two guys who can punch, and one of them potentially is going to be in a dehydrated state. You're going into treacherous territory there, and I didn't like that. I didn't like that was an option. I didn't like that was happening. But to me, it was like, ooh, this actually makes this a very winnable fight for Ben, if that's the case.
I mean, Junior is a reckless man, because of that press conference. It was a very rare day. I think it's happened twice here ever, where it was 40 degrees Celsius and Junior's there in a Louis Vuitton leather, like an absolute savage. You know what I mean? Like everyone's sweating and he's just chill in a leather. Like, I don't think he's fast, but like from, Nigel, Gerald has never been okay. And by the same token, Junior's dad, Senior, Watson, he's now in a functioning state. Now, both of these guys, listen, your sons are going to be your sons. I have children. I'm never going to tell them really what to do. All you can do is advise. But like you're saying, with a weight drain situation, and we were saying if this fight did happen and I expected Junior to win, I expected it to be like Triple G and Kell Brook style, sort of 3-4 rounds of like a firefight, and then someone that is a naturally much bigger man, right? You're talking about a career super middle going against someone that is at best a medium-sized welterweight. Like, you tower over him, and you still make 140. Yeah.
No, the size difference was massive. I mean, like you said, he's a 68 pounder coming down to 60. I didn't like him going down 3 more pounds. That's a lot. 3 more pounds below your weight when you're really like he struggles to make middleweight. Does Eubank Jr. That's not an easy operation for him to do. So to pull 3 more pounds off of your lowest weight, that's really difficult.
I think we'll leave it with that one there, because like I said before we even bang record, you were really good to even speak about it. I'm sure you've been absolutely hounded, and like bringing up old shit.
Yeah,
it will be what it will be. All they have to do, if it is trace, if you have been spiked, release the test results. Let us all see it. Let us all see these trace amounts, kind of what Canelo did, to be fair, in a way. Just let us see that, and then we'll all move on. But at the minute, you've been dirty.
Yeah. I mean, and that's it's objective at this point. There's nothing else really. Now it's going to be damage control.
Yeah, exactly. And chances are we all forget about this in 3 weeks' time. Junior.
The boxing
moves
news
on.
cycle is very short. Boxing news cycle is very short. It's a week.
Yeah, it's like